scientists and researchers discovering these realities, the greatness of the Prophet Muhammad. The Prophet did not mention these things in his time because what he said was enough for his companions to come to Islam. This information came to light in its own time, when scientific discoveries of these realities emerged to affirm the Quranic reality. The Prophet borrowed such a complete and perfect message from Allah that the words of the Quran are being validated as true today even by non-Muslim scientists. The Quran is Gnostic speaking, always bringing its own proofs, using their own discoveries. Allah is calling the Prophet of the 21st century to Islam. When they find these realities in the Quran, many scientists will accept Islam. As the Prophet said, Islam will enter every house on earth. And Allah said, and say, praise be to Allah, who will soon show you his signs so that you shall know them. As the Prophet said, Islam will enter every house on earth. Islam will enter every house on earth. And Allah said, and say, praise be to Allah, who will soon show you his signs so that you shall know them. Bismillah. Every soul, behavior, discovery, invention, or aspect of life, past, present, and future is mentioned in the Quran. There is naught of wet or dry, but it is noted in a clear record. Allah is saying that everything living, wet or non-living, dry, is mentioned in the Holy Quran. That is, all scientific discoveries regarding living or non-living things are mentioned in the Quran, but not everyone can discern them. A lawyer cannot make scientific discoveries, whereas a scientist can. To make discoveries, a scientist works with theories and tests them through experimentation until they are proven to be a fact or reality. Because a lay person does not make scientific discoveries, it does not follow that the discoveries or realities do not exist. Rather, they simply are not known or accessible to him. To someone living in previous times, it would have seemed impossible to think that water was composed of gases. But people now have the knowledge to understand this reality. Not everyone could see that the ordinary water is composed of 2 hydrogen atoms and the 1 oxygen atom. But after its composition was discovered, it was known and accepted in the chemical symbolism. H2 plus 02, 2H2O. When it is said that everything is in the Quran, this does not mean that everyone reading the Quran will find what is in it. Like I said, I always say everybody's hand is different. Everybody's eyes are different. Everybody's brain, everything is different. Depending on the reader's level of knowledge and understanding, he may be able to identify the appropriate verse on a given subject. Just as a scientific can identify a particular element or compound in a sample. However, everything in the Quran, regardless of whether one can personally ascertain it or not. Once a great scholar was asked to define internal knowledge as opposed to external knowledge. He said, whatever one cannot understand is hidden and seems esoteric. But to the one who knows something, it is external and plain. Internal knowledge cannot be perceived by some people, but to us it is a reality. One may think there are 2 kinds of knowledge, but in actuality there is no difference between external and internal. It is only a question of perception. The scientific process is the same. Before something is discovered, people deny its existence, but then believe it when it becomes known. Nothing has changed, only the willingness and the ability to accept the reality. Therefore, it is better not to say that something does not exist just because one does not yet know about it. That's why I try to tell people, man. You know, what somebody is doing, what somebody believes in, what somebody experiences through their discernment, through their reality, through their concept, through their eyes, through their body, through their spirit. Somebody may not understand it unless they are them, or unless they are what. It all depends on the person. What are they looking for? What are they truly looking for? When they go and discover in a book, when they're going to read something, they're looking for something. Say you lose something, you're trying to find it, right? So what are you trying to look for? What is it that you're trying to approach here on earth? How many people have the Quran or have a book? They don't touch it. It sits there. Hey, yeah. You know, and you know, like, what are you going to look for? But you can't deny someone else's vision. You can't deny what that person knows. You can't deny what that person experienced. You can't deny what they feel. You can only deny what you feel. And when you try to deny what is and what is not, that's when you get yourself into trouble. That is when you get yourself into trouble. Because you do not believe. And then when you start to see the scientific facts upon a lot, that's when it snaps you out of this reality, of this damn matrix. People are very afraid of the unknown, but the unknown is not scary. The unknown is beautiful.